Welcome to Taking Action. I'm Chris Colombo. This is week 10 in the NFL. And I think it's our lucky 13 episode. Quickly, don't forget to hit subscribe, give us a comment, show us you like us. A brief overview we're going to do today. We're going to go over week 9. We're going to give predictions and picks clearly and concisely and by sign of my picks. And at the end of today's episode, I'm going to go over all comments, good and bad, depending on where you're sitting, what good and bad is. And we'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back to Taking Action. I'm Chris Colombo. This is episode 13 and week 10 in the NFL. We're going to go over week picks from week 9. And we're going to give you my picks, which I think we're going to hold up with a sign this week. With me is Anthony Conover. Once again, I hail him as the best stats man in the business and protege handicapper. He's coming along. Okay, Ant, what's your thoughts?
We did pretty good in week 9, 2-1 on the card. Obviously, we mentioned it before too. Matt Stafford didn't play, so that pick canceled out.
Yes,
but the under on the the under on the Chiefs and the
Dolphins, under on the Vikings stood up.
Not the Vikings, the Giants. And the Raiders, and then lost with the Jets last night. But hey, 2-1 on the week.
All right, well, that's not what I'm looking for. I'd like to narrow it down. The public seems to want more picks. I will give you my evaluation if you want it later when I go over comments. I'll explain that more thoroughly if you decide to stay with us. Okay, let's go over week 9. Let's go.
What do you mean? Week 10? The picks?
Week 9. What happened in week 9?
Oh, week 9.
Week 9. That was the one that happens before 10, after 8.
Yeah, I was never good with numbers. Math was my bad subject. Passed algebra with a 66.
That's all right. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
More information than I need, and I don't think it's applicable. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Well, week 9 was good for us.
We hope it was good for you also.
Yeah, of course. Like
you went with my picks. It was good.
But
not terrific, but good. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. It's not like meatloaf. It's not look like them too. It's prednisone. Go ahead.
All right. We kick it off Thursday night.
So week 9.
Well, you keep looking at this. I keep getting confused.
Good. Week 9.
All right.
Get confused when I look at?
Yeah. Week 9. So let's see. We had, the Jets lost in that one with the Chargers. Had trouble moving the ball. Both teams did. Honestly, I don't even think that either one of the teams had over 250 yards of offense. So that was a struggle. But you were right. I mean, Jets defense is. You keep calling me every Jet game. That Jet defense is very good.
One of the best defenses I've ever seen. I put it there with the 85 Bears. I put it there with the Doomsday defense. I put it there with the New York Sack Exchange.
How do we feel
Not only that, their secondary and their linebackers come together, and they really rise to the occasion. I had given the Jets special teams, but San Diego surprised me with that run back. That return guy is good.
Yeah, I mean, starting off the scoring with the punt return, whoever had that as the first scoring as a bet, congratulations.
Jets were in a rhythm, but every time they did, they would false start.
3 fumbles.
3 fumbles. That never helps.
Can't lose the turnover battle.
And at the worst possible places that they can be.
Yeah, they were always around the 50. I mean, they were right to the part where you can't turn it over, but you're also too far away to score.
Yes.
So, I mean, Garrett Wilson was the first fumble, then Zach Wilson did it 2 more times.
And the sacks didn't help either.
No, I think he got sacked 6 times in that game, something like that.
At the wrong times. Not that there's any good time to get sacked, but at the wrong times. Where you can't recover and take you out of field goal range 3 times.
Yeah. So
not that would have made a difference in the game. And I didn't see any bad calls.
No, there's I mean, I think that there was a roughing the passer. No, different game. You're right. different game in that one. But I mean, yeah,
Not bad calls. There was no bad calls.
uh,
The only questionable call was when they called a touchdown and he was down on the 1 yard line.
yeah, but replay with that.
Yes,
they
there's a
got that.
replay and it came out right. And
They
they
got it
reversed it.
correct.
But
That's all we want.
that's a normal mistake.
Raiders and the Giants, that under sweated it out a little bit at the end.
I was never worried.
It was 37.5. It ended at 36. Backup quarter. I mean, obviously,
They would have kicked the field goal if somebody had the over.
I mean, listen, it was they were there too. They were at like the Giant 30, and they went for it on 4th down just to get out of there. They didn't want to run up the score. I
They
appreciate
showed them
them
respect.
Exactly.
That's something you don't get with rivalries or division games.
So
It was every point counts. Go ahead.
shout out the Raiders. They won that one for us. And then the under on the Dolphins and the Chiefs. That one was truly never in question either. Those international games usually aren't the most high scoring. And the Chiefs defense, everybody talks about the offense all the time, obviously, for good reason. You got Patrick Mahomes, you have Travis Kelce, but their defense is playing unbelievable. You got Chris Jones, L'Jarius Sneed over there locking things down. So
there's a few teams that are very balanced in the NFL. 49ers are one. They're not playing at their capability. The Eagles are another one. They're not playing. They are playing to their capability. And the Kansas City Chiefs, very, very balanced teams, those three. I think with Dobbs, the Vikings are going to be able to throw them in there. It's a sin that their quarterback went down, but I think that was a good choice. He knows what to do under pressure. He's coming from a team with not as good receivers, not as good running backs, and definitely not as good offensive line.
No, I mean, the Vikings, especially when they get Justin Jefferson back, that is a massive upgrade from what the Cardinals had before. So I liked that move, at the trade deadline, getting a quarterback. Obviously, once Kirk went down.
Okay, what other games you want to go over? The Kansas City Chiefs was what I was afraid of. Is I don't know how to handicap the effects of playing in Germany. My worry was that it was the NFL was going to do a shoot me up just because they want to go global and expand the league. They had some problems in England because their diehard football to them is soccer. And I think the Germans embraced the NFL pretty well. And they looked like they were excited to be there. I seen a lot of jerseys.
I remember when the tickets went on sale, there was like 450,000 people in the queue to buy tickets for those Germany.
They're excited to be there. And they picked two very good teams to watch. Inherently, the games that were in England weren't as caliber of the teams that were playing or interesting that year.
Yeah, I mean, they've been over there, I think, going on, like 10 years now.
Yeah,
so
and you never saw a matchup like that.
No, last year was the first year in Germany. The Bucks played over there. So, they gave him a good game this time.
The other thing is Kansas City minus 2.5 was a gift, but I didn't know how to calculate for Germany. Kansas City only 2.5 favorite, but no home field advantage either way. But Germany, I didn't know how to do it. We discussed it. I'm very careful about where I direct you with your money. The losers, I take it personally. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I mean, a game, once again, you said it with the Texans, how they never cover. Unbelievable game.
Very good game. Texans are a very good team.
I mean, they found their quarterback. I'll say that.
Yes, they did.
Most passing yards by a rookie.
I'm a fan of the Texans, but I'm not a fan of betting on the Texans. I said it was one of your picks. I kind of talked you off the ledge. You were a little annoyed with them. They managed to win, but not cover. When they lose, they never manage to lose by enough that you get paid. That doesn't mean they're not a great football team, and that doesn't mean they're not competitive, and that doesn't mean they're not great athletes. Just means that they're playing for them, not us.
They're on the come up. They are on the come up. That's all I had for week 9, unless there was
Let's go to week 10.
All right, week 10. Perfect. We kick it off. Thursday night football. And I mean, I guess we'll get into this too. We'll say which way we lean on these picks. And then for our actual picks, we'll make sure that,
I'm not going to say which way I lean unless I'm hinting towards you to put a couple of dollars on it, not the ranch. But I will just remember, not only things that jump out at me, and very few teams or totals hit my criteria. That doesn't mean they're going to win. That means you got the best shot at winning with the most variables and the most consideration going your way. Go ahead.
All right. So Thursday night, Panthers at the Bears. Bears started off as a 1.5 point favorite. They're up to 3.5. That total went from 41.5 down to 39.
Okay. Both teams played Sunday, correct?
I do. Yes.
Oh.
No, I lied to you. The Panthers. Hold on. I'm going to look here right now on the handy dandy cheat sheet that we always have.
Take your time.
Never mind. It's over there. You know. Let's see.
See what I'm dealing with here.
Hey, listen. You know, you got to be right for the people out there. The yes, Panthers did play.
Like I said, both teams played last week.
Got to make sure.
That is a difficult game. Who was on the road?
Panthers were at home. The Bears were on the road.
Because the Bears are coming home and the Panthers are on the road again.
Yeah.
All right, that means
the Panthers were home last week.
Panthers were home. Who was on the road? Bears.
Bears are home now. Panthers are on the road.
Oh, yes. All right, that's what I said. Okay, now that means that they played Sunday, had to get themselves together and ready to play again Thursday. Usually that Friday, Saturday to Sunday, 2 more hours to prepare. That's a difficult game to handicap. Bears are at home, and they now move to 3.5, which means they're a half a point because you give up 3 points for home field advantage the way Vegas sets its lines. I don't like either team in that game, but the edge to me goes to the team that didn't have to travel and they're home because they didn't have as many days to prepare. I think that's a big edge. Both those teams inherently are not playing the way they should. Their stats are erratic. Their quarterbacks are erratic. Their defense are erratic. But when the Bears get pumped up, they can play as good as anybody. They showed us that. When the Panthers get pumped up, they've played very, very well themselves. So if they come to play, that's a team that comes to play. But I lean towards but 3.5 is points because neither team is dominant, in my opinion. But if I say the edge, and I wouldn't bet this game, if you want to go ahead, is home team favorite because of the short week.
Yeah, makes sense to me. We go to Sunday.
Okay.
Your dreaded another Germany game. I'm sorry. It was the last international game of the season, I believe.
But good Venus Schnitzel.
Colts at the Patriots. Patriots opened up as 1.5 point favorites. Now the Colts are 1.5 point favorites. That total went from 44 to 43.5.
That's not a significant move. That just means the algorithm or the artificial intelligence pushed them that way, or some handicapper went that direction, or most of the money is on the under in that game. Colts are capable of scoring. Patriots have proved they can score. It's not the highest total in America.
No, I mean the Patriots' offense is bad. I think they're like the bottom 4.
They're coming on in the last 3 weeks, and neither one has a voracious defense.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, on that game, I would lean towards the Colts.
Fair enough to me.
Go ahead.
Texans at the Bengals. Bengals start off 8.5 point favorites. They're now 7 point favorites. That total went from 44.5 all the way up to 48.
Burrows is healthy. The Texans can score.
Yeah.
The quarterback can score from running. He can throw.
Tied a rookie record with 5 touchdown passes.
Yes, we all know all about it. People know the Texans. I know the Texans. Everybody knows the Texans. Bengals, that's a lot of points. There's an expression, I wouldn't book it, I wouldn't bet it, but I think that's a good game to watch.
Yeah, sneakily good game.
And when I say I wouldn't book it, I wouldn't bet it, there is no edge to be involved in. It's not just my picks. The knowledge of handicapping is getting as many edges, as many variables, as many things in your favor as possible, and the line being off. When people say handicapping is 50-50, it's not true. Because if a line is off, it's in the favor of the way it's off, and it's against the way it isn't. Go ahead.
The Packers at the Steelers. Steelers started off as 2.5 point favorites. They're now 3 point favorites, and the total stuck at 38.
Steelers defense. What did I circle there?
I believe you like the under in this game with the 38. I don't blame you there at all.
You don't. But you'd blame me if I like the over?
I would.
Why don't you wait till the game was over? But the bets are made before the game starts. One of my picks, not as solid as I'd like, but I like under 38 in the Panthers Steelers at home game.
Packers Steelers.
Packers Steelers at home.
Yeah.
That's what I
I
said.
said Panthers.
Packers. I'm a mumbling stuttering. I had Bill's palsy. Come on, let me
Jesus.
half dead over me.
Titans at the Buccaneers. Buccaneers opened and stayed at a 1-point favorite. Total 38.5 to 38 to 38.
Baker Mayfield played to his capabilities last week.
Unbelievable game.
Yes, unbelievable game. When he's on, he's on. I don't need to tell you about the Tampa Bay defense. I mean, it's top 5 in the league, right?
They're good. Obviously, they got lit up by the Texans last week, but every defense has, an off day.
Because maybe not the off day. It was a shootout. Things happen. I like the Buccaneers in that game. It's not one of my picks, but I lean towards the Buccaneers.
Fair enough.
Go ahead.
Browns at the Ravens. Ravens start off as 4.5-point favorites, now up to 6. That total went from 39.5 to 37.5.
Baltimore is one of the teams that is looking very good.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievably good. But the Cleveland Browns are coming into their own. I always like them as an underdog. Maybe not to win the game, but they do fight. I think that's going to be a great game to watch. But I lean towards the Browns in that game with the points, but not to win the game.
I would agree with you there. I mean, 6 is a lot, especially in those divisional games that are always a
Yes,
lot
divisional
closer.
games are tough. I would say, if you wanted to throw a couple of dollars on the money line and the Browns just to watch the game, be excited and get, wouldn't be a bad idea. Go ahead.
49ers at the Jaguars. 49ers started off as 2.5-point favorites. They're now 3-point favorites. That total went from 44.5 to 46.
They're telling you that the Jaguars could score. 49ers is one of the balanced teams they haven't been playing. What did I pick there?
This was actually my pick.
Okay, this is Anthony's pick.
I'm leaning with the Jaguars in this one. Five-game winning streak coming off the bye. 49ers are coming off a bye as well, but they haven't looked too well. And I think the Jaguars' offense is there. The defense has been playing good, and I'm getting 3 points. I like this one.
I believe this is a must-win game for the 49ers. I think 49ers are one of the most talented teams in football, most rounded.
Absolutely.
Jaguars have a terrific
overall team. I mean, quarterback.
No, they're balanced. They're coming into their own. They're improving by the nanosecond. They're working on their special teams, which they needed to. The defense is coming alive, and they're adding more and more weapons to their offense, and they're expanding their offensive playbook. I like what they're doing, but this is a must-win game for the 49ers to turn it around. In must-win games like that, Jaguars are on a 5-point run. I'm not saying it's one of my picks. I'm not going to go against Anthony, but I'm not going with him on that one.
Fair enough.
And I hope he is right because he's coming along, but it's not about personalities. The 49ers need to win this game to get, number one, to get their sea legs back, confidence to get back, and the Jaguars do not need it as bad as the 49ers.
That is true.
So there's also an emotional element that the team that comes to play. Like when the Minnesota Vikings needed it to get back in, they came to play. If the 49ers don't do that, they're risking a good part of their season.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be 4 losses in a row. And
they could forget about home field advantage. I'm not saying they're going to forget about playoffs, but it's harder to come from a wild card seat than it is to come from home field advantage and regular playoff game. Anthony's going with the Jaguars. Next one.
Saints at the Vikings. Saints stuck as 2.5-point favorites. Total went from 38.5 to 41.
I like the Vikings in that game. I think Dobbs is going to be a nice addition. I think he jumped in last week and did very, very well. He didn't know the playbook. He didn't know anything.
You know what he said after the game? They asked him about knowing everybody. He said, I'll figure out everybody's names next week. Yeah. He didn't even know the people. Yeah. In fact, there's highlights of him going over the snap count and the cadence on the sideline.
That is one of the most difficult things there is to do, is to bring a quarterback in that doesn't know the calls, doesn't doesn't know the motions. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't even know the audibles.
Silent counts. You know,
Nothing.
He didn't know the players' names. Literally.
Now, listen, there's a lot of guys on the field. I might forget their names too. I'm not good with names. How many times you see me call teams by different things?
Hey.
Lines I never forget. Names, whatever. That is one of my picks. Vikings. What is the line?
Saints are 2.5-point favorites, so the Vikings getting 2.5.
Vikings plus 2.5 is one of my picks, and I'm going to give you the reasons. I like the way they blitz.
They're aggressive.
As you know, Cardinals is one of the teams I liked against the spread. Dobbs was one of the reasons. He's a competitor. He can take a beating and keep on going. He doesn't hold on to the bad plays. In other words, he forgets the experience, remembers the lesson. So I believe that Dobbs is a nice addition. That team blitzes like nobody I've ever seen. And when they come, if you can't get around their blitz, you have a problem.
Absolutely.
And they've held great offenses and put them in distress. I think the Eagles were one of them, right?
I mean, against the 49ers, that's kind of what, sparked their losing streak as well. They shut down the 49ers.
And the best part is they're getting points.
Exactly.
Okay. I like the Vikings getting points in this position. And there's more reasons, but let's see what happens before I get into it.
Falcons at the Cardinals. Battle of the Birds. Falcons opened up as 1.5-point favorites. It's now a pick 'em. Total went from 41 to 42.5.
That's because their starting quarterback is back.
Kyler Murray, welcome back.
When was he rookie of the year? 2 or 3 years ago?
I believe it was 3 years ago. I want to say.
I don't know what condition he's coming back in. I hope he comes back better than when he left. He's one of the quarterbacks that I think really excites the game. You can depend on him to be a battler. He could run. He could throw. I've seen him block.
He's a small man, but hey.
I've seen him do it. He's got a heart of a lion. Welcome back, Tyler. And that's why the line moved. Until I see what he does, I won't handicap it. Sometimes it takes a little while to shake out the bolts and the nuts and put them in.
Get back into playing.
Yes.
Action.
Go ahead.
Lions at the Chargers. I can't wait to watch this one. Opened up at the Chargers being a 1.5-point favorite. Now the Lions are 2.5-point favorites. The total stuck at 48.5. This is my other pick.
Oh God.
I know it's 48.5, but I like the over. Chargers have the worst pass defense in the NFL. They give up 40 more yards than the next closest team to them.
Well, Detroit is due for a blowout. And not taking anything away from the Chargers. Inherently, the team that comes off a Monday night win, and are they traveling?
No, they are at home in this one.
Still. They still got to come back home after a Monday night. They lose a day. That's why the Thursday night lose 3 days.
Yeah,
is a consideration. I wouldn't book it. I wouldn't bet it, but it'd be nice to watch. The Chargers did not impress me against the Jets.
No, their offense did not look good. But hey, that Jets defense is amazing. Not Lions are
well,
not.
They never got off the field was the problem. I don't care how good your defense is. The offense has got to keep them and keep them off the field so they can rest. And to continually put them in goal positions and turnover positions and field goal positions to take them out of. I mean, it's amazing the score was that low. So I don't think that only had to do with the defense. I just think San Diego is not, they're not San Diego, they're LA now.
LA.
Yes. I apologize. That's a hard one for me to handicap.
Understandable.
So you like what?
I like the over 48.5. I think this is a shootout.
I'm not getting involved.
Giants.
I stay out of shootouts since I'm retired.
Giants at the Cowboys. Cowboys start off as 9.5-point favorites. It is up to 16, and the total went from 40.5 to 38.5. Obviously, this one.
No chance. The Cowboys going to score the points. Listen, I've always liked the Giants as an organization.
Cowboys.
I like the Giants too.
Yeah.
I like every team. They fit in. Sometimes even when they lose, it's good for them.
I beat the Patriots, so they're on my laminated list too.
Cowboys love to shoot it up on teams. They don't back off. They're high-powered offense. Their defense is
very good.
Very good.
Obviously, this line is so inflated too because Daniel Jones tore his Achilles. ACL. I think it is.
But I really don't think that the Dallas Cowboys, who they play in the following week,
The
I think
following
we talked
week,
about
the
this.
Cowboys are at Carolina.
They may come to crush them. I don't lay 16, but the line is telling you that.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was any more points, they'd probably take it off the board.
I mean, that is a big spread, especially in the NFL. Obviously,
Yeah, if you take the money line with the dog, it's almost like hitting a 12-team parlay.
I was gonna say, if you have any, free money that you just don't care about,
I'm not going to advise that, but go ahead. Not that it can't happen.
no, of course. Commanders at the Seahawks. Seahawks started off as the dreaded 5.5-point favorite. It's up to 6. That total stuck at 44.5.
Whenever you see a 5.5 line, it's because the favorite out there, that's a deadline as far as bookmakers, because they don't know what to do with it. So I stay away from 5.5s. Seahawks are playing better and better. The Commanders are really come.
They've figured out their offensive line situation recently, which was important. Sam Howell was on pace to be the most sacked quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Yes.
They changed over their center, and the last 2 weeks he's only been sacked.
The center is very important. You played that position. You played against me when I was coaching. I like both teams. It's a tough one. Seahawks are at home, so they're saying that they're 2.5-point favorite. I think it's a good game to watch. Nothing sticks out where I would say, hey, let's get a bargain. Come on, let's go.
All right. The Jets at the Raiders. Jets started off as 1.5-point favorites. They're now 2-point favorites. Total went from 37.5 down to 36.
Who did I like in it?
We didn't choose this one.
Inherently, I gotta think that I didn't pick that game, but I lean towards the Jets.
Obviously, a new regime over there with the Raiders as well. They fired everybody.
Yes.
So,
but listen, sometimes that gets into rhythm, sometimes it doesn't.
I mean, they scored more points in the half against the Giants than they had scored all year against the Giants. So maybe they found something with that.
I don't know, but that was different points, different weeks.
And then we end off the week. Monday Night Football is the Broncos at the Bills. Bills are 8.5-point favorites, down to 7.5. Total went from 46.5 to 47.
Bills at home play tough. It's starting to get cold. I like Russell Wilson. I like the Denver defense. I think it's a decent team. I think it's coming along.
Yeah, they've improved.
Yes. Well, I don't know if they improved. They're getting in their groove. It doesn't take 18 games to win a Super Bowl. You never know what the coaches are trying out, what they're trying to do. I think that's going to be a good Monday night game. What's the total on it?
47.
47. The points are a little too high for me. But the Bills are not capable of blowing any team out at any time.
When they're on,
you can't tell which week they're going to do it.
That's the problem. They're too inconsistent.
Well, sometimes they squeak it out, sometimes they lose, but they're in contention.
Yeah.
I think they lead the division, right? Or Miami.
Miami does, right?
They're in second, right?
Yes.
All right. I think it's important to the Bills to be nippling at Miami's feet, or heels, so to speak.
Or flippers.
What?
Maybe where they're flippers.
They might win at flippers, yes. But I don't know if the Bronx could gallop in the Broncos. That's a lot of points. I would lean towards the total in that game is tough because either one of those quarterbacks could score. Russell Wilson could gain more yards running backwards and throw the ball than any quarterback I've seen in the league. If you count when he runs backwards and side by side, put him when he goes forward, he's a 2,000-yard passer.
Absolutely.
A game.
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy watching that game. I'm a big fan of both teams. Big fan of both quarterbacks. That's a fan game, not a betting game. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would not touch that game.
The next segment of this show is I'm going to answer comments, explain how I do things. I think I'm pretty clear, but I'm going to go through it. I'm going to answer the comments, good and bad. So don't forget to hit subscribe, like, or leave the comments, even the ones you don't like. I like constructive criticism towards Anthony.
Yeah, I can accept it.
All right. Thank you. And we'll be right back. I'm Chris Colombo. This is Anthony Conover. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Taking Action. I'm Chris Colombo. Here with me, as always, is Anthony Conover. Once again, as I hail as the best stats man in the business, as coming along as a handicapper. Would you agree?
I am certainly on my way.
All right. Well, you don't know where you're going. Any road will get you there.
That's true.
Anyway, this is the comment section. This is a section I look forward to, and I'll tell you why. I even like the negative comments because it allows me to either get better, have a greater understanding. There hasn't been that many negative comments.
No.
But I will address them. But I'd like to thank the people for the nice comments. One where there was, I coached for 31 years, preparing kids for college, but never did I coach at that level. But to say I've been instrumental in getting 88 young players, Division I or Division II scholarships, and I'm happy to do so. And one of the players that I hadn't seen or talked to, and I keep contact for them, Anthony played against us, right?
I only played in Mighty Mites.
Right, but you played in your team, your collective team, and your friends played against.
Yeah, my friends. Yeah,
at the high school level.
They scared me off in middle school. They said practice was going to be too hard, so I quit.
Did you have to say that to me?
I mean, listen, we're all about honesty.
All right, I can't argue that. You're getting better. All right. You're dancing around the raindrops pretty good.
I was a beast in Mighty Mites, though.
But everybody hung out, played against me.
Yeah.
And there came a time that they work with me in our funding office. We are going to be broadcasting from there also because we work very hard. Those that say that I should get a real job or have never worked, have never spent the day with Chris Colombo. Would you agree with that?
Had a nice phone call today.
Yeah, we did well. How's my work ethic?
Unparalleled.
Yes. But it's going to be, except for you guys are going to surpass me. That's what's going to save America, getting out there and doing constructive things and helping the younger guys understand that. Okay. Getting back to all the kids that came and worked with me at the Thunder Ghost, most I coached, played against. They had a pretty wild team with a pretty good quarterback that liked to do this dance. And he had a good trick play. And I watched it. I think I paid attention to the tapes. And I said, this guy's not doing this to me. I think the beach is 64-0.
Yeah, I think that was the year. That might have been my senior year.
Yeah, it was your senior year.
We went defeated. I think the Walk Hill team went 0-10.
Well, yeah, but yeah, that part in
6. I think it was like 6.
No, they won the game. I saw that film. That trick play.
I think it was like 64-0. Whenever
64.
Whenever they played you guys.
If you took the last 4 games you put together, they didn't score 64 points on them.
No.
But it's great that I get to coach them now in the financial world. Okay. Moving forward, I had lost track of one of my Pop Warner when I coached Pop Warner. One of the players sent a comment that he had gotten hurt and that I had gotten the ambulance, went to the hospital with him, stayed with him, visited him. I hope he's feeling better. I hope that injury was significant when it happened. And just proud of you. Hope you're doing well. And remember that we're supposed to do that. That's not an extra, but you were a special kid. All the kids I coached were really good. And, it was about, a learning and a fun experience. Stops being fun. What do we do?
Stop doing it.
That's it. But it should be safe also. But thank you for that comment. Thank you for the good comments. One person said that they're battling cancer. We wish them the best from here in our prayers.
Absolutely.
What other comments that I want to address?
I'm not, I don't know. I know one person really likes my hair, though.
I agree with him. I'm going to tell you the truth. I had booked Justin Bieber one time at Splashdown, and I think that day you did steal his hairdo.
Hey, listen. I had this hair before Justin Bieber became popular. I think he's copying me. I don't blame him, but I think that's the way it is.
All right,
I'm just-
Justin, give him his hair back.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
All right, all right, all
Just
right.
throwing it out there.
Let's move forward. I thank you for the kind words, and I hope I can continue to pick winners for you. Okay. Let me explain a little bit about the show till I get into the comments. Okay. I was fortunate enough to do what I enjoyed. Gambling for me was a passion, not an occupation. And I took it serious. And I'm familiar with all forms of gambling. My family's been involved in casinos in Las Vegas, Puerto Rico, etc. And gaming comes second nature to me and the philosophies thereof. The more you gamble and the less money managed you have, the more shot you have for the house to win. So when I look at a game, anybody can get on here and rant and rave about their picks and rant and rave. Why did it stand up? I have a formula, a science, and I do dissect it well.
Yeah, we go.
And I narrowed the board, which I believe is in the best possible situation, most variables in your favor, and a line that is incorrect to the other side of who we play. I said we become with totals. I think right now with totals we're 3-0. Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, I know we went undefeated this last week with the totals.
Yes.
So
There was 1 week I picked one. This is a time where totals come into play because you don't really could judge totals by the first 7 games because you don't know who got in their groove, who got hurt, how they match up. Okay.
Trade deadline's over too now, so all teams are set. Some
Yes.
teams could have made additions, subtractions.
Yes, which could be a variable that I can't predict
Exactly.
because there's no performance in the past. And to assume you make an ass out of you
And me.
Okay. So we try not to deal in assumptions. Secondly, there was one that says that I'm out of touch with the modern day gambling. Just so you know, you're entitled to your opinion, and if that's the way you feel, I'm sorry I didn't fulfill the requirements that you think I do. They are pushing you to bet multiple game parlays. The only time a parlay is a good bet is when there's a money dog and a 2-team parlay. Okay? Because one of them lose, you're finished. Okay? When I was bookmaking, we just threw, and that means taking the action, the bets. We didn't have the volume New York State has. We would just throw the teasers, the parlays, and the reverses, even a 3-way reverse box or a round robin parlay, even though they could win money in a basket. They were called sucker bets. There are times they are not. There was a week here where bookmakers would get slaughtered on teasers. I recognized that week because of the way the lines varied, the way I handicapped them, and I think I was 9 for 10 with the teasers.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an edge I can give you, no one else could give you. Secondly, as far as being out of touch with modern day gambling, offense, defense, special teams. It's fought in that 11 inches of the ball, and that's never going to change. Offensive line is the heart and soul of the team, and defenses win big games. And special teams is a deciding factor because all you need is 2 out of 3, and you should win the game. And the line is the equalizing, supposed to make the game even, like a handicap in golf. If that line is out of whack, is what I look for at first, and then I narrow down. The number is most important. After that, the variables, and then money management. The more teams you bet, the less likely you have a shot to win. As far as being out of touch with modern day gambling, I helped develop the software that you get on the phones. So if you used a legal sports book in Costa Rica, but not legal here, you used software I helped develop. And that is the same software now that's being used by all of the things that may be modified. So I was also privy, what you call administrative access. So I could go in and change and move and do whatever. They're moving things that are not in your favor. So it's not that I'm out of touch with modern day gambling. Modern day gambling is out of touch with letting you win. They have a lot of edges that you don't know. I do. But money management, the line, and straight bets is the way to be a winner at the end of the season. If you happen to hit by accident one of those 19 parlays, or a prop bet that's 750 or 7,500 to 100, God bless. But I wouldn't depend on it. And when you do hit one, you're going to gamble more and more and think you can get out with that.
Those Hail Mary bets.
Even more so than that, it's the ball and just catching it. The odds are highly in your favor. Another thing we're going to talk about, money lines. Two underdogs money line, especially baseball, in a two-team parlay is the most dangerous bet to the house. Matter of fact, in baseball, I'd only allow you to put one money dog in there because the way it exponentially worked, you only had to win one out of those 5 two-team parlays at the same price with the right money dog coming in. So what I teach you is decent and accurate mathematics and ratios and to get the most cluck for your buck. And money management is important. So let's say I pick 9 teams and this week we win 9. I have 2 bad weeks, you lose 18. That's 9 positions we got to come back from. It's not the way it should work. So I think it was Jimmy's place. If you feel that way, I'm sorry. But if I didn't think I was beneficial to the better, we don't even monetize this. Am I correct?
Nope.
So we're here to help the younger people try to win. And if I give the benefit of your knowledge, but remember, I started with the guy that invented half sheets, bookmaking, the action, to the entity that perfected the computer system with algorithms and artificial intelligence to today. So I'm not defending myself. I'm just answering your comment. I hope I satisfactorily answered it. If your opinion is still the same, I'm doing the best I can. Another comment was people don't understand my picks. I think I was pretty clear on them. I'm even clearer today. Our editor, Achille, his name is Achille Antonelli. He's in SUNY Purchase. He's a music.
Yeah, something to do with like music,
writing it, synthesizing it,
editing. Yeah,
kid's a genius, and he's very good with computers, and he's creative. You've seen how much better, and he grew up here in this house. I like to give him a shot to do things. See how much better our intro is, and that's Hale. There's a guy that did do it that knows what he's doing, but Achilles was more modern. Achilles, when you heard "This Is My Pick," this is to you when you're editing. Make sure you make up and you have a makeup. You will see a visual.
We're going to we're gonna have all of our official picks on a screen, all labeled out and everything. So we'll have that done so everybody watching can make sure that they know exactly what picks is ours. And obviously we want to go through every single game because that's what everybody wants. So we do that, and then we're gonna make sure everybody knows our official picks.
I say on to the next. If I don't see anything beneficial and I talk about it, but maybe you have your own minds and I can help you. But the idea is for you to come up with your procedure, your set of variables, your science, because that's what I want you to do, to become your own people, your own thinkers. Better, smarter than me. Apply what you know compared to what I say. So I will be more thorough in that. But I will tell you my picks. And I hope you do better than me. I mean, this is not a competition. This is beat the bank. And I can give you the best variables because I was the bank. I helped develop the tools that the bank now uses. Secondly, a lot of people said we have a good chemistry. That's true. We spend a lot of time together, working together. He has a good family ethic. He's got a good sense of humor. Anthony's very smart. That's why he's sitting here. One of the things he had asked me to do is help him because this is what he went to school for. And, he's trained in it professionally, but scholastically at the postgraduate level. And that's the reason here. And the purpose of this show is to be entertaining, have fun, and help you make some money and not see you get buried. That's the purpose of the show. If you think it's for any other reason, there's no agenda here. And we want to have some fun, which is why we do it.
Once it's not fun, you stop doing it, like we said.
Stops being fun, stop doing it. I watched how you could, at a money line, it says lay 180 to 100. But it doesn't give you what you're getting back till you put the bet in on a lot of them. Am I correct?
Usually it'll like you put in how much, you want to bet.
But the way it's always been fair is it's a 10-point spread on a money line. Until it goes to 200, then it's 20 points, 330 cents.
Yeah.
30%, because it moves exponentially. So when you see 180, you're supposed to take back 170. We tried with a few of them. They took from 135 to 152. I can't figure that out. They should it should be automatically, not assumed, but that's the way the money line works. It's a 10-cent spread up until 100, up to 200. Once it's 200, it's a 20-cent spread coming back. If you're laying 200, you go the other way, you should be taking 180. If you're laying 300, on the other way, you should be taking back 270. I'm seeing laying 180s, and this is why I have not been given money lines, because they don't want the sharp action, and we can really put a hole in their head with underdogs with that. But that's a big, big difference on $100 with a 35 and 40% spread. If you were in the stock market, where I learned most of my mathematical moves, because it's the symbol of demand and supply. Keep that in mind. I want to grow with you, not against you. And I am here to try and give you the best of what I can do and develop you to have your own mind. People don't think, they want to be told what to do. And then people in China sitting for hours had addiction to that phone and lead you in that direction. Don't be a victim of marketing. Be a pioneer of it. You have anything to say?
No, it's been a good time. We appreciate the comments. Like Chris said, good or bad. And, constructive criticism always helps people get better. Obviously, the positive comments are fun to read, but we're having a good time.
The other thing is, there was one comment that Detroit has the most successful bookmakers. Detroit is an action town. I love it. I had the benefit of a lot of action from Detroit was laid off to me. I have a lot of dear friends in Detroit. I like Detroit. I like Milwaukee. I like Boston. I like Buffalo. Philadelphia action towns. A lot of the bookmakers that you've dealt with there illegally, if it is not gambling, have laid off or done business with me. And it's not a competition. I'd like to see everybody be successful. When I say I'm the most successful bookmaker in the nation's history, is because my father used to say, if you get up in the morning and make a few dollars and look forward to what you do and do it right, that's what I did. That's success. I don't know where somebody put greatest in there. I don't even know what the greatest of anything is. Circus, greatest show on earth. I can agree with that. But as we go, we're changing things. There's a group effort here that brings you this show. And I hail everybody here. Thank you. You will look forward to a lot of great interviews. We're filming them every week. We're focusing on the NFL, and we will be entertaining you afterwards. And we will be talking about baseball, hockey. Hockey, I'm not the best at, or MMA. Basketball, I can hold my own. It's a little ugly to see, but I hold my own. And we will be with you. Hopefully, you want us there. Please subscribe, because emails will be sent out to you, letting you know who's coming, and you could get feedback that way also for future things, not just comments and things you saw. Like I said, we don't monetize. We're not making any money here at the time. We're going to talk about helping charities. We've discussed it. And this is about you, not about us. We just want to enjoy doing it for you. Any negative comments, I encourage them. As far as the comments of FanDuel doesn't break your legs, I've never heard anybody at the time I've been a bookmaker. And people that said, when people owe you money, rule number one on the street, you don't charge interest on a gambling debt. Or the people I ran with wouldn't be happy with you. Not you, me. They were decent human beings. I'm going to sign off now at this time. Keep the comments coming. Subscribe. I'll be able to be in touch better once you subscribe, because I have your email, correct?
Yeah, well, I mean, subscribe, turn on the notifications for the channel, so whenever we do post a video, you get notified that there's a new one out. Like, comment, everything helps the algorithm, helps us grow, helps us get better.
And there are a lot of people that are coming on that I find really interesting, and it has impacted not just the sporting world, the world and arts, entertainment, every area.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to find, at this show, we don't throw stones, we throw roses when deserved. Thank you. I appreciate the time. Killy, please don't forget to make the visuals to go along to help them understand what my picks are. Anthony, you're getting one hell of an eagle. Let me tell you, I'm proud of you, pal. Anthony Conover, Chris Colombo signing off till next week. I hope my picks stand up. This was not the greatest week to handicap. Every week is not the same. Is another thing. Different teams, different variables. There are bookmaker weeks, there's player weeks, and I hope I can bring you to both sides and help you with that. Thank you.